Welcome to WWJ-My's Tabletop World. My name is Sweetness WWJ, and this is the newest episode of WWJ-My's Wargaming Journey, and this is my new approach to painting. So this is as I say, my new approach to painting. So the goal of this video is to maybe give you a new perspective. Maybe you're having these same struggles. It isn't a tutorial by any means. It's just sort of a different philosophy that I personally have. Often I talk about, like maybe on the channel somewhat, but I often think about the idea of goals and why you do things. Where are you trying to go? If you want to get to a certain point, like your actions should support that, right? And so let's back up for a moment. I'll just talk about a little bit about my painting experience. So originally I thought, there's no way I'll ever paint anything. I'm terrible at this sort of thing. I tried all these workarounds like markers and like these tiny markers. Like, oh, I have to color them. What if that's easier? Eventually I started just painting minis. And, when you first start, they look amazing. You're like, oh my God, this is amazing. I can't believe how good this looks. You throw some washes on, you're like, I cannot believe I'm doing it. And then you fast forward like 2 years and you look at that, you're like, that thing looks like garbage. And the better that you get, the more critical your eye becomes at looking at things. Now, this is a very simplified look at how people do painting, but prime, zenithal highlight, you put on a base coat, throw a wash on, and then you do like, here's my bicep, I'll paint, the lighter color and then a lighter color and the lighter color and just build that layer up to build up those, lighted points and things to really give, the mini a sense of depth. Okay. I'm not a very artistic person. I do a lot of artistic things, but I'm not very good at it. And this isn't something that's comes natural to me. And I noticed sort of a trend that was happening for a while. And that is like, I would spend a very long time painting a mini, but the longer I spent on it, two things would happen. It would just look worse and worse. And I would feel more negative about it because I spent a lot of time on it. So the more time I spent on it, the more invested I became. The more I spent on it, the less I liked it. The less I liked the way it looked. Recently, I kind of went back to a little bit more of my tabletop quality, like where I just kind of paint the minis, their colors, and I don't worry about highlighting too much. And I did Marvel Zombies. I did the Fantastic Four, the whole box set for Fantastic Four. I really love Fantastic Four, and I painted it, and I felt really good about it. I also pulled some other Fantastic Four related characters, like She-Hulk was a member of the Fantastic Four for a while, so I pulled her out. Like Black Bolt often interacts with them, and some of those kind of characters. But anyway, I took the Silver Surfer, who was also connected to the Fantastic Four, and I was like painting him, and I was like, oh, this is so easy because he's all silver. It should be so easy, but then all of his muscles were so clearly defined that it was so easy to do, the highlights and stuff. Where sometimes when characters have flowing robes and things, it's harder to tell, those expansive parts can be a little more stressful. Anyway, so I was pretty happy with that. And then I sort of said, okay, well, I'm going to do my, I just got the Lord of the Rings, which I kind of talked about in the last episode. I had the Fellowship of the Ring, and I started doing them in my classic, build it up, the classically understood way of painting minis. And I thought, man, this is again, I was in my trap. I was like, I'm spending so much time on this and it just keeps looking worse and worse and worse. So I kind of set it down for a while and I wasn't painting anything for maybe a month. And then I went and I just, on a lark, I was just like, I want to paint this new Captain America that was in the Marvel Crisis Protocols, Earth's Mightiest box, which I got like a year or two, I don't know, it feels like a lifetime ago. And I just painted him. And, I had fun. I was just like, this is super fun. What I did was I just, he'd already been zenithal highlighted, base coat of black, zenithal highlighted with white. It's the one time I spring for like that $20 a bottle, Warhammer Citadel, Corax white or whatever. Because I think it's got to be thin. So I do that. So they're already done for zenithal highlighting. So I just thinned down my paint, put on a light layer, let it dry, just did the whole thing, and then added the wash for his face, and then I added the black wash to his body. And when it was dry, anything that was too dark or whatever, I just quickly lightened up a little bit with again thinned down paint. And it probably took me, I don't know, like 40 minutes to paint this whole mini. So I did him, I did Electro. You can see them both on the screen now. And I just thought, like, that was fun. It's tabletop quality. Now, this is why goals are important, which is kind of coming back to that theme. So if I want to progress and learn and grow as a painter, then I have to push myself. I have to say, okay, I'm going to learn, I'm going to keep going and become a better and better painter. I'm going to, watch these online tutorials, and I'm going to learn how to highlight and really grow. And I'm going to look at my mini now, and I'm going to look at my mini in the past and say, look at that growth, because because my goal is becoming a better painter. But that's not my goal. I talked before on the channel the idea that, like, you should never paint your minis if you just want to get them on the tabletop, because you will be miserable painting them and you'll do a terrible job and it'll be frustrating. Paint them for the joy of painting them, and then also, hey, look, they can be on the tabletop. So I do want to have minis on the tabletop be painted if I ever get around to playing some of these games. And, for me, I'm like, I don't need to grow as a painter. Like, I'm happy with where I'm at. And that's just, again, that's a goal. I don't need that. But I enjoy painting this tabletop quality, like just thinning down the paints enough. I like the way it looks. It took me maybe 40 minutes to do this mini, and it looks good. It looks good to be on the tabletop, but it's not going to win the Golden Demon or anything like that. And several things have occurred now. I'm like, I liked doing it, as I said. Now, I have probably about, like, a literal probably 500 minis on my queue at the moment. I've got, like, a couple hundred Conan, miniatures. I've got my Lord of the Rings Middle-earth strategy battle game. I've got those Marvel Zombies that I talked about, and I've got some stuff from Marvel Crisis Protocol, and a couple other games that I was looking at. Hundreds and hundreds of minis. Now, if I got 500 minis, and it only takes me 30 to 40 minutes to do one, and I at the end of 5 nights a week, at the end of the night, I just paint for half an hour, 40 minutes. In 2 years, I can go through 500 minis, which, again, that's not important to me, the quantity, but I'm making progress, and that's something that will make me feel good. I also, I enjoy the process rather than have it become a slog or keep going and just feel worse. And I guess that's an interesting little philosophy, because, I think you're compelled or pushed maybe for miniature painting to always be doing better, always highlighting, always doing this and this. And I'm like, I don't need that. I don't need to compete with anybody. I just, that was fun to paint. It didn't kill myself. And I'm making nice progress, and I'm getting a painted mini that I can put on the tabletop if I want to. And I don't have, and my backlog will go quicker. I'll feel better about accomplishing the goal of going through and painting more and more things, and I'll enjoy it. So, I don't know, does that help you? What kind of a painter are you? Are you, always feeling stressed out or bad about your miniature painting, and that you're not necessarily interested in, growing that much as a painter? Tabletop, there you go. That's the paint. Do what I'm doing. Just thin down your paints a little bit, put it over that zenithal highlighting, throw a couple washes on, tidy it up a little bit, and make significant headway on your pile of shame. So that's my new philosophy for painting. I don't know, that seems weird, but it's something that was stressing me out for a while. Now I'm I just let it go. I loved doing those 2 figures. I know that they're tabletop, and probably any good painter worth their salt is going to be that doesn't look like you did anything to it. That's okay, because I'm getting through my pile. I can put minis on the table, and I'm having fun. And at the end of the day, you just got to enjoy yourself. So I hope that helped anybody. Comment below if it did, or if you disagree, or if you've got a different approach that maybe I should consider. But we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for joining me. Oh, I used to say, gotta roll. I forgot. I haven't done a video in so long.